This is the last video in the Art of Wellness series on nutrition. To start at the beginning, go to healthsecretsummit.com and click on past events. Now, I just threw a lot of dots at you in a huge connect the dots picture, and you could probably connect several, but maybe not the entire picture just yet. Honestly, it may take you a while for you to digest all this stuff, no pun intended, but it's kind of like learning the alphabet before you're able to put the letters together to make words. But later, in upcoming classes, we are going to be putting words together to make sentences. So it's really, really important that you understand the basics before we move any further. Once you understand this, you'll see the world from a whole new perspective. Your intuition will take over and you'll become confident in your decisions. You may even find yourself teaching your doctor a few things because most doctors know nothing about nutrition. It's not taught in medical school. And once you know this, you can't unknow it. You'll just keep getting better and better at putting the pieces together, constantly connecting new dots and fitting new pieces into your puzzle. So if you've internalized everything taught today, you now have a really good base to build upon for the additional learning ahead. Now that you have the necessary puzzle pieces, let's make sure you can fit them together. Are you ready for your test? Bet you didn't know this was coming. But really, how do you know you learned something unless you can answer questions and explain your answers? So I'm going to ask you some questions, and if you know the answer, great. If not, you'll see the correct answer pop up on screen. Question 1. If you have a problem with any organ in your body, what should you address first? This is an easy one. If your diet is great and you still have problems, where should you look next for the cause? Another easy one. If you have gallbladder issues, what organ should you treat? You had to have been paying attention for this one. If you have pancreatic issues, what organ should you also treat? If you have liver issues, what system should you focus on clearing? This goes way back to the beginning. What kind of enzymes should you take to help the pancreas heal? Remember, plant enzymes work in the stomach. You must take an enzyme that works before the chyme passes through the O-ring, because the O-ring is what gives the signal to the pancreas to start making enzymes. Next question. What kind of enzyme should you take if your pancreas is shot? If you have allergies, what needs to be addressed? When addressing candida, what also needs to be addressed? Remember, candida eats the large particles of food that are too big to be nutrition. So next question, if you kill off all your candida without first addressing diet and digestion, what might happen? Now, if you got more than one of these wrong, you may want to go back and review. I've uploaded an 80+ question final exam so you can test yourself again after reviewing the material. Use it as a tool to help you remember, because you probably won't need to go through it more than once or twice before you ace it every time. Now, before I go, we talked about minerals and how dangerous it is to take individual minerals unless you're absolutely sure you have a deficiency, because they can throw your whole system out of whack. Remember, all vitamins and enzymes need to connect to minerals in order to be absorbed by the body. And if you take a mineral that you don't need, not only will it tax the liver that has to find a place for it, but if you have too much of one mineral in your system, it will cause an imbalance in others that it needs for absorption. Now here's the mineral wheel. Notice I've highlighted copper, Cu, and all 9 other minerals that link to it. Notice where zinc is, Zn. Zinc and copper have a very strong relationship. And the reason I'm showing you this is it's extremely important that a delicate balance be maintained because mineral imbalances are one of the primary causes of chronic disease. Always, always, always test yourself or seek professional advice before taking a fractionalized vitamin or mineral supplement because they all depend on cofactors for absorption. The liver treats excess minerals like toxins, and what it can't discard through the normal routes of elimination, it usually disposes of through the hair and nails, or it might encapsulate it in a fat cell. So if you're overweight and it's not your diet, you may be toxic. Those fat cells may be protecting you from what your body considers poisons. Now, if you want to test your minerals, you can email me for information on a company called ARL Analytical. They do an excellent mineral analysis, and they offer a detailed explanation of their test results in layman's language, which is why I like them. You can see their booklet here. It's about 1/4 of an inch thick with basically everything you ever wanted to know about your mineral makeup. Now, here's an example of a chart that's included in each analysis. Actually, this is 2 charts side by side. I wanted to show you my situation as an example of what can go wrong. I do these every year or two. The first one is from 2014. Note the off-the-chart copper. Normal is 2.5. The chart goes to 7.5, and I was a whopping 14.1. It took me 4 years to get it down to the baseline you see on the 2018 chart. I now have 3 on the baseline, and I'm working on bringing the low ones up, but I still have high zinc at 29. But that's down from 33, so it's moving in the right direction. What I'd like to emphasize here is how long it takes to rebalance the body and how extremely difficult it is. You are far better off preventing the imbalance from occurring than trying to get the horse back in the barn. Yes, it can be done, but it's time consuming and a real pain in the you know what. Here's a chart from a client of mine who has some serious issues. Note how the first 4 are not only off the chart, but they're in the stratosphere. Calcium is normally 40. Her chart goes up to 120, and she's at a whopping 323. Magnesium is normally 6. She's at 22. Sodium normal 25. The chart goes up to 75. She's at 138. And potassium, normally 10, is at 31, while the rest of her minerals are low. She's also releasing 2 toxic metals, mercury and aluminum. Now, I don't want to get into too much detail here because I'll be covering all this in an upcoming mineral class. But when in doubt, do a mineral analysis. They're cheap, they're easy to do, and they provide much needed information beyond just what your mineral makeup may be. Now, you're probably wondering why my copper was high, because I never took copper. Well, there are 2 reasons for that. One is our well water is high in copper. But while I was working out of the house full time, that never mattered. I always had normal copper. It was always good for me. But when I retired and started drinking the well water exclusively, that kind of tipped the scales. Coincidentally, I stopped testing. I stopped having annual physical exams. I stopped the mineral testing. I was pursuing another career. I got busy. I forgot. Before you know it, 6, 8 years went by and I hadn't tested. And I really didn't think I needed to be tested. I was feeling fine and I thought, oh, I'll just have this done because I haven't had one done in a long time. And boom, my copper's off the chart. So it just goes to show you how easy it is to be out of balance and not know it. Now, I'd like to suggest here that when this video is over, you reread Perspectives, the very first section of the script. Now that you know what you know, rereading that will put all this into perspective. Without it, this information is just sort of hanging out there all by itself. It needs to connect to something. And that section is the overlay that ties everything together and contains some unique pearls of wisdom that hold true no matter what topic we discuss. Remember this, you are not stuck with a body that doesn't work right. You can improve your health and wellness by understanding what your body needs and providing it. And what I've attempted to do here is remove the fear from your decision making. I want you to be confident, not to feel intimidated by a health professional stuck in a system that doesn't have your best interest at heart. Fear has a way of manifesting in our outer experience. But how do you let it go? With information. Because information empowers you. And with intuition, because intuition guides you and helps you to choose your best course of action. And with love, because love is the only emotion more powerful than fear. Love will help you lose the fear so you can make wise choices for yourself and your family. Never forget that healing lies within you. It's your body that heals itself. It's not a pill, it's not a drug, it's not the doctor, and it's not a treatment. Those things only help or hinder your body from doing its job, and you are the one in control of all that. Don't put the responsibility for your health on someone else. That only sets you up to be a victim of cookbook medicine. The buck stops with you, your body, your choice. And that's where this information comes into play. So don't let this be the end. Make it the beginning. Thank you for watching. I hope you feel it was worth it. If you benefited from this presentation, I would greatly appreciate it if you would place a value on it and consider donating whatever you think it's worth. Thanks again, and if you wish to be notified of future webinars, please sign up for my mailing list. Till then, may the light that surrounds you fill your heart and shower you with love, joy, and confidence. Good luck and good health.